Hi, welcome to Nikki's Modern Mediterranean. I'm Nikki Klekis, wife, mother, CEO, and entertaining expert. Today we are going to make Koulourakia, traditional Greek butter cookies, but I'm going to add an Easter twist. To get started making our Koulourakia, I'm going to use a hand mixer, but you could also use a stand mixer to mix this easily as well. So we're going to get started with 2 sticks of butter. Keep them out so they're nice and soft, room temperature. 1.5 cups of sugar. I have measured out 6.5 cups of flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 4 eggs, 1/2 cup of orange juice, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and I have an egg yolk and some water so that I can make an egg wash. And then we also have our fun food coloring so we could dye our dough before we get rolling. So I'm gonna get started. I like to use my hands at the end with the flour, so I'm gonna take off my rings. I'm gonna have our room temperature butter, 2 sticks, put that in the bowl, and I'm gonna cream this up first. So now that we've creamed the butter, we're gonna add in our sugar. So 1.5 cups of sugar, put that in there. Next, we're gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. Forgot to tell you that in the beginning. So put that in there, mix that up. Next, we're gonna add our baking soda to our orange juice, which it's going to fizzle up. See that? Fun little science experiment. And we're gonna add that to our mixture. Now I'm gonna add our eggs, one at a time. So we've combined all our wet ingredients, and now we're gonna add in our flour. I'm gonna add our baking powder right to our flour mixture. Now we're gonna add in our remaining dry ingredients, our flour. I'm gonna slowly add this. So when I was looking at my yaya's recipe, she writes, add flour until it's not sticky anymore, which is what a normal recipe would be like in Greece. So I've really done this many times so that I can measure out the 6.5 cups for you guys. So we're gonna add this slow. A little more. I've added in almost all my flour, and now I'm gonna actually hand mix the rest. So I'm gonna ask Zoe to come in to help me. When I was younger, my yaya always did this with her hand. And that's really when she would tell me when there was enough flour, because once it wasn't sticking to her hand, she would say, stop. So now that we have our flour on this, I can show you that you can really feel that the mixture is not sticking to all my fingers, and now we know it's ready. I'm gonna take this out onto the cutting board so that you guys can see. I'm gonna knead this a little bit more. Okay, so now our dough is really ready. If we were gonna make just regular traditional Koulourakia, then you would just put this dough, wrap it in some saran wrap or in a Ziploc bag, refrigerate it for at least 2 hours before you get rolling. But today, we're gonna do a fun part, and we're gonna dye the dough different Easter colors so that we can roll out Easter Koulourakia. So Zoe's really good at this. So Zoe, you wanna grab some gloves so you can help me? We've done this a bunch of times, so Zoe's gotten really good at this, so that's why I've asked her to help me. So I'm gonna cut this into 4 parts because we've picked out 4 fun Easter colors, but you could do whatever colors you want. And I don't recommend doing this with little kids, this part, because it really will dye your hands. So Zoe's gonna help me with this. So I have You ready? I know, you're really good at this, Zoe. You want to start with with purple? Okay. I'm gonna put some gloves on and I'll start with the color too. So we're gonna dye these parts of our dough, put them in a Ziploc bag, and then refrigerate them for about 2 hours, and then we'll get ready to roll them out. Just don't get it on your clothes. This is a really different variation of Koulourakia that we didn't do when I was younger, so this is our new tradition, Zoe.
Okay.
Green looks good to me, nice and even. I'm gonna leave this one here. I'm gonna take off my gloves and wipe this portion of my cutting board so that I can do the next color. So now we've changed our gloves and we're gonna do the next two colors. Zoe's doing an orange and I'm gonna do pink. If you wanted to dye the whole dough one color, you can just put it in a stand mixer and add the color of the dye right to the dough, and that could also mix it for you. We have successfully dyed our 4 colors of our dough. I'm gonna put these in Ziploc bags, their own Ziploc bags, put them in the fridge for 2 hours, and then I'm gonna ask some of my younger children to come help me roll them out into traditional shapes for Easter. It's been 2 hours. I pulled the dough out of the refrigerator and we are ready to roll. So I have Christina and Nicholas here to help me. This would be a really fun Easter project. To get started, we are gonna preheat the oven, 350 degrees, and I'm gonna use these ungreased baking sheets, or you could also use parchment paper if you like. So I'm gonna show you a traditional way of rolling. So I'm gonna get Nicholas and Christina started. I have 1 pan for each color. It's about a 1-inch ball of dough that you're gonna need, and we're gonna roll it out evenly till about 9 inches. So I've done this long enough and fast enough that I know exactly how to roll it out, but I'm gonna show you a measurement, a visual on the pan for you to know. So once you roll it out to about 9 inches, like that, we're gonna fold it in half and we're gonna twist 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And that is a traditional way of rolling a cookie. This is about how much you need, and then 9 inches is about this much of the pan. So if you can roll out evenly like that, then you can put them onto this pan, okay? So this one is for you. You're gonna do the pink. Nichols, that's good. Christina, you wanna get started on orange?
Yes.
Okay. I think this is a good amount for you. And you can roll it out again, honey, about this long. Try to do that. And then tell me when you're ready and I'll show you how to do the next part, which is folding it in half. Yep, very good. In half like this. And now twist 3 times. You got it? 1, 2, 3, perfect. That's awesome, good job. You can make this dough ahead of time, and if you have some cousins coming over and you want them to have a little project to do, this would be fun for them too. So you can put these pretty close together. They're not gonna puff up that much. That's why you don't wanna use too much of the dough. That's what I'm saying about, perfect, that looks great. About 1-inch balls. If you use too much dough, they will puff up too much, but who cares? You just wanna make sure that these are delicious cookies. It's fun, it's a great activity. And we're gonna put some egg wash before you put them in the oven. Sure. We'll put egg wash on top with a little sprinkles before you put them in the oven for a really fun, festive Easter treat. Yeah, that looks great. Should we do a race? Who's gonna finish first? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm pretty sure Christina's in the lead. No. I'm twisting my green ones. I really won the race, but Nicholas thinks he did. So you guys have to get rolling there. Once you finish rolling out a pan of your cookies, we're gonna do an egg wash. For the egg wash, you need 1 egg yolk and 2 tablespoons of water. I'm gonna whisk that together. We'll put a little egg wash on each cookie, just a tiny bit so that it golden browns the top. And we're gonna put some festive sprinkles. Traditionally, we would put sesame seeds, but for these Easter ones, we're gonna use some colorful sprinkles. Okay, so my normal tray of cookies is ready to go in the oven. I put the green in the oven and I'm gonna help these kids try to finish rolling all of these, and I'll see you when all the cookies are finished. If you don't dye the dough for Easter or any other holiday, this is how traditional Koulourakia would look. Thank you so much for watching. For the full recipe, visit nikkiklakis.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.